Have you ever noticed her suddenly pulling away, leaving you in that uneasy silence, wondering if you did something wrong, or worse, if she's losing interest? That gut-wrenching feeling, that sudden chill in your connection, it's more than just distance. I need you to understand something crucial right now. When a woman goes cold, it often isn't a signal that she's falling out of love. It's the opposite. It's her mind and heart reacting to feelings she can't fully control, feelings she's terrified to expose. Before you jump to conclusions, subscribe to this channel and hit that like button, because what you're about to hear isn't talked about openly. Most men never realize this. Most men mistake silence for rejection, confusion for disinterest, and withdrawal for heartbreak. But the truth? When she distances herself, it's a subtle, unconscious sign of deeper attachment. It's fear meeting love in the most complicated dance you've ever witnessed. Think about her patterns. She might stop texting as often, respond with short answers, or seem unusually distracted. Maybe she's less physically affectionate, or laughs a little less at your jokes. Your mind screams she's losing interest, but your intuition senses something else, a quiet tension, a hidden intensity. That tension exists because her feelings are growing too large for her to handle. Deep down, she's afraid of what it would mean to admit how much she cares. Vulnerability terrifies her, and so she protects herself by creating space. Here's where most men fail. They misinterpret her coldness as a problem to fix, instead of a signal to navigate carefully. You see, she's not pushing you away because she loves you less. She's wrestling with the enormity of her emotions. Love doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers, hides, and tests you in silence. When she becomes distant, she's observing, measuring, even fearing that her own feelings might be too intense, too consuming, too revealing. Your role in this moment is delicate. You can't chase, you can't panic, and you can't beg. If you overreact, you confirm her fear, that vulnerability is dangerous, that exposing feelings will push you away. But if you remain steady, calm, observant, and emotionally available without suffocating, you unlock the door to her hidden heart. She's watching to see if you can handle her depth, her complexity, her love that she can't yet admit out loud. This is why the cold isn't a wall. It's a window. And today I'm going to teach you how to see through it, how to recognize the subtle signs that she's actually more in love than she's ever been willing to show. When she goes cold, you might feel like you're suddenly invisible, like the connection you thought was solid is cracking beneath your feet. And yes, it hurts, because it triggers a primal fear in every man, the fear of losing someone who matters more than you can admit. But let me be clear, her coldness is not a reflection of her love or lack of it. It's a reflection of the emotional intensity she's struggling to manage, the inner storm she can't yet express without feeling exposed. Notice the small things. Does she still check in, even subtly? Does she still notice when you're down, offer that quiet support, or send a brief message that's carefully measured, almost hesitant? These are not signs of indifference. They're the invisible threads holding her love in place, even when she's retreating. The truth is, women often go cold when they feel that their emotions are too strong, too uncontrollable, or too revealing. Pulling back is her way of protecting herself, testing whether her feelings are safe with you. This isn't manipulation. It isn't game playing. It's human psychology at its rawest. She's weighing her vulnerability against her trust in you. Every glance, every lingering pause, every subtle touch she gives while distant is an indicator of the internal battle raging inside her. When a woman loves you deeply, she fears losing herself in that love. She fears exposing the depth of her desire and attachment. And she fears rejection, not from you, but from the intensity of her own heart. Here's what most men miss. Her coldness is actually an invitation. It's an invitation to step up, to show emotional strength, stability, and patience, to show that you can handle her full self, her fears, her intensity, her love that hides behind walls. Panic will push her further away. Indifference will make her wonder if you deserve her. Calm confidence, emotional presence, and the ability to mirror her depth without judgment, that draws her in more than words ever could. Look closer. When she goes cold, watch for microsignals, a softening gaze when she thinks you're not noticing, a slight smile that flickers and disappears, subtle gestures of care that contradict her distance. These are the breadcrumbs she leaves for you, if you have the eyes to see them. She's showing you her love in a hidden language, a language only men who understand female psychology can read. Right now, your challenge is to not misread the silence as rejection, not misinterpret space as disinterest. It's actually her deepest feelings masked in restraint, and the way you respond will either scare her further into hiding or allow her to feel safe enough to let her love surface. Section 2 sets the psychological groundwork for understanding her behavior. Here's something almost no man understands. When a woman goes cold, it's rarely about you. It's about her inner emotional turbulence. The fear that her heart might be too much for you, or that her feelings could overwhelm the very relationship she secretly cherishes. This is why so many men panic and chase, because when you don't understand the psychology behind it, distance feels like abandonment. But if you pause and look beneath the surface, her coldness is actually proof that she cares more than you realize. Watch her body language closely. The way she glances at you when she thinks you're not noticing. The way her tone softens ever so slightly when you speak. These are cracks in her carefully maintained armor. Her silence is loud. Her withdrawal is not rejection. It's a test. A test to see if you can handle her complexity without fear. If you can remain grounded when her emotions become a mirror for your own insecurities. And here's the brutal truth. Most men fail this test. They overcompensate, they panic, they demand reassurance, and in doing so, they confirm the very fears she's trying to contain. But if you respond with steady presence, emotional stability, and subtle attentiveness, you signal to her subconscious that it's safe to let her walls come down. You show her that love doesn't have to be terrifying. It can be steady, enduring, and accepting, even when it's intense. There's another layer most men never see. She may start small, a random text at night, a lingering laugh in your presence, or even subtle physical contact she quickly retracts. These fleeting gestures are like tremors, signs that her feelings are active, alive, and deeply rooted, despite the distance. She's showing love in fragments, fearful of overexposing herself, yet unable to fully hide what's in her heart. This is where your understanding becomes a form of power. Not manipulation, not pressure, but insight. Insight allows you to interpret her coldness correctly, to meet her where she truly is emotionally, and to respond in ways that build trust instead of triggering retreat. You become the safe harbor she unconsciously craves, the man who doesn't react with fear or desperation, but with patience, empathy, and quiet confidence. The men who fail see her distance as rejection. The men who succeed see it as a mirror of hidden love, a challenge to rise above instinct and insecurity. If you can learn to read these subtle cues, you can navigate the emotional minefield of her withdrawal without triggering defensiveness. You can reach the love she's secretly guarding, love that is more intense and more real than words could ever describe. Now let's get even deeper, because this is where most men completely misread everything. When a woman goes cold, pay attention to how she interacts with your world rather than just you. Does she still laugh at your stories, even if she seems distant? Does she remember little details, the things you've said in passing? These are invisible threads of attachment. She may be physically pulling away, but emotionally, she's still tethered to you. That tension, that push and pull, is the silent language of love she's too cautious to express outright. The truth is, women don't withdraw randomly. Her coldness is highly calculated, though often subconscious. It's her way of processing love she's scared of, testing whether her emotions are safe, and measuring whether you can handle her depth without judgment or retreat. If she's texting less, responding slowly, or avoiding overly emotional conversations, she's not closing the door, she's seeing if you can navigate her emotional landscape with patience. Look at her social behavior too. Does she show subtle signs of jealousy or heightened interest when you talk to other women, even casually? Does she notice when you're giving attention elsewhere, or seem slightly protective of your time and energy? These are not insecurity, they're hidden expressions of attachment. She's signaling that she values you more than she's letting on, that her heart is more involved than her actions seem to indicate. And here's something most men miss. The coldness is often a reflection of how much she fears being vulnerable. When a woman is deeply in love, exposure is terrifying. Every word, every glance, every smile carries weight. She knows the impact of her feelings, and the more intense they are, the more carefully she guards them. She's almost testing you. Can you sit with the tension? Can you remain emotionally present without overreacting? Can you show her that her love won't break you or scare you away? Notice the micro behaviors, the quick touches that disappear, the lingering eye contact that fades when you catch it, the smiles that appear and vanish. These fleeting moments are like smoke, hard to catch, but unmistakably there. She's leaving breadcrumbs for the man who knows how to read them. These subtle cues are louder than any word she could say. Understand this. Her coldness is not distance. It's a signal, a secret language, a doorway into a love that's stronger, more guarded, and far more real than you can imagine. The key is not to chase or demand. It's to observe, interpret, and respond with the quiet strength that reassures her that you can handle what she's hiding, and that her heart is safe in your hands. Here's the truth most men never realize. Her coldness is not about rejection. It's about fear. Fear of being too much, fear of being exposed, fear that her feelings will overwhelm the relationship or even scare you away. When a woman pulls back, it's often because she's feeling emotions far stronger than she can safely express. And the deeper her feelings, the more cautious she becomes. That's why the woman you think is distant is actually closer to you emotionally than ever. Her love is simmering beneath the surface, restrained only by the walls she's built to protect her heart. Pay attention to timing. If she withdraws right after an intimate moment, a deep conversation, or even a compliment, it's not coincidence. Her subconscious is telling her, this is too much, too fast. Can I trust him with this intensity? She's testing the waters to see if your emotional presence is steady enough to handle the weight of her love. Men who panic at this point, who chase, question, or beg, unintentionally confirm her fears. Men who respond with calm, unwavering confidence become her safe harbor, the one she subconsciously leans toward, even in silence. Look for inconsistencies. They're actually signals. A short text followed by a lingering look, a cold tone followed by a smile that melts within seconds. These are not signs of disinterest. They are her internal tug-of-war made visible. She's trying to navigate her love in a way that feels safe, splitting her emotions between guarded withdrawal and secret affection. Every hesitation, every micro-gesture, every fleeting spark of warmth is a breadcrumb leading you to the truth of her feelings. Understand this. Women are wired to protect their vulnerability. The more a woman loves, the more fiercely she guards herself. Her coldness is her way of managing a love that terrifies her with its intensity. It's her method of testing whether you're capable of holding space for her heart without breaking under its weight. And the more you can tolerate her silence without overreacting, the more she internally relaxes, allowing her true feelings to surface. The men who misread this see coldness as rejection and respond with anxiety, miscommunication, or emotional withdrawal. The men who understand it see it as proof of love, proof that her emotions are more intense than she can express. They see the challenge as an opportunity to meet her in her depth, to show patience, stability, and emotional strength. And it's in this quiet, steady presence that her hidden love begins to reveal itself fully. Now let's focus on the hidden signals most men completely overlook. When a woman goes cold, she often communicates more through absence than presence. The pauses in her messages, the delayed responses, the moments where she seems distant, they are all deliberate. These gaps are not rejection, they are her testing the strength of your emotional presence. She wants to see if you can remain grounded, confident, and patient while her emotions simmer beneath the surface. She's observing how you react to silence, because in that silence, her deepest feelings quietly whisper. Notice how she engages when you're talking about yourself. Even in her cold state, does she remember what you said weeks ago? Does she notice subtle changes in your behavior or mood? That attentiveness is a powerful indicator that she's emotionally invested, even when she appears withdrawn. The more emotionally connected she is, the more carefully she will guard her vulnerability. She's essentially saying, I care too much to risk it all, without seeing if you can handle it. Her subtle actions often betray her love more than her words ever could. A hand that lingers slightly on yours, a smile that appears when you think she isn't looking, a quiet laugh at a joke you barely noticed. These micro-behaviors are the fingerprints of hidden affection. She is showing love in fragments, testing whether you can perceive it without needing it spelled out. Men who are unaware mistake these gestures as casual or insignificant, never realizing they are actually clues to the intensity of her feelings. There's also an emotional rhythm you must understand. Her coldness may ebb and flow in cycles. She draws back when feelings overwhelm her, and then she subtly reconnects, almost instinctively. This push-pull is not manipulation. It's her natural way of managing the vulnerability of deep love. Recognizing this rhythm allows you to respond with calm presence rather than panic, which reassures her that love doesn't have to terrify her. Finally, observe her protective instincts. Does she seem guarded when you talk to other women, even in innocent situations? Does she internally monitor your attention without saying a word? These are invisible markers of her attachment. She's invested in you emotionally more than you realize, and her coldness is a reflection of the care she's trying to regulate. Your role is not to demand affection, but to meet her in this subtle space, to provide emotional security, and to allow her love, hidden, intense, and real, to surface safely. Now it all comes together, because this is where understanding turns into power. When a woman goes cold, the reality is that she's more invested than you can imagine. Her withdrawal is not absence, it's protection, testing, and an unspoken declaration of love she isn't ready to fully reveal. Every pause, every hesitation, every fleeting gesture is her heart speaking in a language few men can read. The men who succeed are the ones who do. They see the hidden devotion, the silent care, and the unvoiced attachment that underlies her coldness. Here's the key. You don't force her to open up. You invite her. You don't chase, you hold presence. You don't demand explanations. You create emotional safety. This is about mastering the subtle art of being steady while she navigates her fear of vulnerability. Her coldness will test you repeatedly, not to punish you, but to determine if your love can endure the depth she's guarding. Respond with calm confidence, emotional patience, and quiet attentiveness, and you transform her withdrawal into a bridge toward deeper intimacy. Pay attention to the little signs that break through her armor, a glance that lingers just a second too long, a smile that appears only when she thinks you aren't watching, a text that seems casual but is infused with care. These micro-behaviors are more revealing than any words she could muster. They are proof that her love is active, alive, and waiting for a space where it can feel safe. Your ability to perceive and honor these signals is what will awaken the love she's been concealing. Most men misinterpret coldness as rejection, and they respond with insecurity, anger, or withdrawal. But when you respond with steady presence, you send a powerful message. I see you, I understand you, and I can handle the depth of what you feel. That message resonates on a subconscious level, breaking down the walls she built not against you, but against the intensity of her own emotions. You become the safe harbor for the love she's been hiding, and in that safety, her feelings bloom. Finally, understand this. Her coldness is a gift. It's an opportunity to witness the full extent of her love without her having to say it outright. When you navigate it correctly, you don't just win her heart, you earn her trust, her vulnerability, and the depth of connection that most men never experience. Your response to her silence, her withdrawal, and her subtle cues will determine whether her hidden love remains locked away or becomes the most profound, passionate bond of your life. When you recognize the signals, respect the space, and mirror the patience she needs, you uncover what so few men ever see: a woman whose love runs deeper than words, whose attachment is more intense